Hi friends, Texture Junkies, and if you're new here, thank you for landing on my channel. I appreciate you. First of all, I'd like to say that this is for Beebercraft, and they have an awesome program. If you have more than 100 subscribers, you can join. Send them an email and there'll be a link in the description box. Additionally, there will be a link for the stamps that I'm using today and the other items that I got in my last order from Beebercraft, which, if you are new here, we started Spirit Goddess Masks last Saturday Night Live, and it was only part 1. So if you want to do that with us and get caught up, check out part 1 and watch for my next live stream coming up the 3rd Saturday. But I might pop an extra one in the middle, because I think it's going to take 3 lives to get our spirit masks done, which is a really fun project. So today I actually want to talk about, and you get a sale price. They have been so wonderful. They actually sent me an email and gave me a different code for you guys. So you get 10% off your entire order now if you use the code Texture10. So that's pretty awesome. And it's the whole order. Before it was $5 off if you spent $40. So now there's no minimum and no maximum. So that's great. So today I want to make some more rip strips. And I've made a video about rip strips in the past. You might have caught it. And I actually threw it off to Judy P at Judy P's Crafty Journey, and she did some rip strips as well. There's just so many ways we can do these. And I actually use mine. I want to show you what I have here. I actually have them now. I used to just have these hanging on here by my desk, but now I have them on one hook on this old embroidery hoop, which you could get really inspiring with your hoops too. And my rip strips are made from offcuts and scraps, and they're like all different kinds of mixed media. So you can use these on all kinds of projects, from art journaling to junk journaling. They can be tags, belly bands, little tuck spots. Christmas is coming. You could do your Christmas gift tags this way and just cut off the piece or rip off, hence the name rip strip. Rip off the piece that you want to use. You can get really creative with them and use them in so many projects. I do reach for them a lot. When I get stuck and I feel like something's missing, I feel like this is a really great way, a really great thing to grab, because I've got so many different kinds of things on here. And they're usually like that stack of paper from your big paper cutter that's sitting next to the side, or their gel print roll-offs, or their new sprays that I got that I wanted to try out, or they're from my splat box. There's just all kinds of crazy things in here, and they're fun to sit and decorate. They are. And you can use the littlest pieces off your desk that you really, really like. I even have some here that are like my stamp that says this is an individually crafted work of art. Any smudges, splotches, smears, that's that stamp, and it's on there. And I can rip or cut that off and add it to whatever big project I'm doing. So you can use on these. Also, I'm going to show you this box. So this box has all this stuff in it and just kind of sits next to the recliner. And I have a punch in there. I have some additional rings and hooks. You could use cork. You can use, these are gel print offcuts from projects, or ghost prints that I did on cardstock. You can use these in your cards. I don't make cards, but I do have a selection of stamps that I like, and this is the one for stamping. This is the ring I put them on. Of course, they don't have to be organized like that. But I just throw scrappy offcuts in here. Here's from some masterboards and, collages. There's a new stencil I was trying out. It's just a variety of things. Decorate the back, don't decorate the back, doesn't matter. These cork have some other scraps on them, and then I'll probably do something fun on this side. And you could also trim away the perfect scraps. Like, if you want to stamp on it, you can trim out and fussy cut around each piece and add those to your mixed media projects. That's really fun. So let me move this. Additionally, right now, we have all this mail coming. I'm not advertising for them. And this is really good. You know, it's a little thicker. It's great for that. I've got some vellum here. You do it on vellum. This is just, you know, recycling. That's all that is. There's some roll-offs and ghost prints and, you know, it's just good for all this stuff. So, but generally it's just like the scraps that I'm grabbing that get cut like that. And then that also means that they could be as wide or as narrow as you like. If you're going to use them as tags, you might want a few wide ones there. But what I did here was I took some of these. Let me see here. So this is going to be for stamping. I took some of these and I actually did some embossing with the stamps. These stamps are great, by the way. They're like more organic, like torn wallpaper. And they're all these kind of organic shapes. They're very sticky. They're on foam, very sticky. And they came in this really nice bag too. So I have these two out right now. So I'm going to set this to the side. And what I did here was and you can use any medium on them when you're done too. So this is super mixed media. I embossed that and put some copper embossing powder on it, which I'm not a card maker. So for me to have embossing powder, I will sit and do a bunch of things at once because I don't like that little grit that gets all over your desk. And I also don't want to drag all those tools out when I want to do a mixed media project if I don't have to. So all I did there was use some magicals and kind of color that in. But what we're making today, there's another embossed one, and then I sprayed it and wiped it away. So it's got that super awesome texture left behind that I could use a gold wax on. There's another one, and that was inked with a brush, and it's that same stamp. And then I wiped away what was on top of the embossing, the clear embossing powder. These ones are the ones we're going to talk about. You can do this on tags and stuff too. You don't have to do it on the strips, on the rip strips. By the way, that's a hashtag. So if you make some rip strips, share with me. I'd like to see. Here's one that I started coloring just now. I just used a watercolor marker, and that was on an inky tag because I have those in my Etsy shop. And I love making these inky backgrounds, but this one was more plain. So I did the stamping with one of these amazing stamps. Really, they're huge. They're way bigger than I thought they were going to be too. And then I'll color it in. You don't have to color the whole thing. You can pick your moments, you know, and then it's a great background to put a focal point on or to leave just like this. So we talked about those ones. Let me put this aside. So what I have here, oh, and packaging. Don't forget that. That's all those little narrow spots, you know. What I have here is inked alcohol ink. It's marbling with shaving cream. I mean, these are the super scraps that you don't know what to do with, honestly. And then here's one that I just cut up, and that's a PM Artist Studio stencil right there. You can check it out at pmartiststudio.com. I think it's .com. Yeah. I'll put a link below. They're friends over on Facebook. If you go into Makers of Mixed Media Art and Artists, you will see a selection of their awesome designer stencils. So what I have here are some that I stamped, and those are the first. Let's put those on that ring. And what I'm making is a little color book to sit by my desk or by my chair downstairs. So the reason why, sometimes we get in a funk and we want something that is simple, easy, maybe something mindful that we have to concentrate on, that helps our mind relax, and you just really get those Zen moments from coloring. And a lot of people love to color or doodle or, you know, I just, this is a really great way to do this and to have them handy so that I can sit and color next to my chair. And I'll just have them in that box with a selection of pens, colored pencils, you know. I'm sure you have duplicates of some things or things you aren't using. Watercolor pens are really great for this, by the way. So let's take some of these and make a few that can be colored later sitting at my chair. I haven't done any on the marble paper. Let's see, I've got those two. Oh, I forgot to bring up my black ink, darn it. And then, let's see. Let's go with one of these. And this is just, you know, like it seems. That's all. I love mixing together something that's a pattern that's like structured and looks maybe vintage or more ornate with something that is not. With something like this that's more organic. And I just think opposites make a big difference. You know, like when you're trying to do a mixed media fun, this one I peeled off wrong and I moved the little plastic bits. So these are just perfect for this. Being that sort of ornate ripped wallpaper, you know. This is probably the wrong ink for it. I would use a permanent ink usually, but I left my black downstairs. I just want to get some pattern on there so when I go to color it, it's ready for me to fill in. And it'll look like, you know, colored. So I have those nice outlines. They're nice thin lines too. They're perfect for the embossing powder. Now let's use this one, and I'm going to grab this ink. You ever get that ink where the pad isn't stuck to the, I mean, that came like that. Does anybody know what kind of glue to use? Please leave a comment below. Let me know. What kind of glue do I use on that? Because I've got several that have come like that over time. Okay, so now I want to kind of alternate the pattern. These are really, really good stamps. There's a lot of selection here, and no two patterns are alike. And of course, I have a favorite. And I'll show you my favorite in a minute. Because these have that sort of ripped wallpaper look, the edges are all more organic. See, isn't that cool? That'll be really fun to color later or just use like that. I mean, either way, they're great stamps. Your stamps are as good as your ink, though, and I clearly should have brought my other one down. I do have brown mat right there. And I have this nice one. So let's use this one on, let's see, I want to use this little piece. These are really good to tuck in stuff too, in little pockets. You don't have to add a focal point to these. They are beautiful enough on their own. They'd be great for card makers. That one almost has like a C on it. Some of these scraps are so old, I don't even remember how I did them. Because, you know, when I don't know what to do, I'll just sit and play with mediums. Speaking of mediums, I moved that one. When you go to Beebercraft, you actually would be surprised if you start digging all the different things they have. So many things, from home decor to all different kinds of crafts and tools and organizing. The only thing I haven't found on there, which doesn't mean they don't have it, is mediums. And I'm not sure. They do have markers, but just mediums. That's it. It's all I can't find. Everything from wood blanks to, I know you guys, if you've been here before, you've seen some of my wood onlays that I got last time. They're amazing, by the way. And they have so many of them. So I'm just stamping away here. They're really thick too. So they have a lot of gifts also. So if you get 10% off those gifts, that'd be great. So you should go check that out. Everything you can think of. Somebody said, oh, I thought they just had beads. And really, it's so many cool things. And if you have a channel and more than 100 subscribers, you could do this too. Pretty fun. So the intention with the rip strips is to be able to use them in so many ways, but generally not to use them whole. However, this would make a great bookmark. Maybe to put in a gift that's a book for Christmas. Put a nice focal point right here. Do a bit of coloring. Write the information, you know, that you want to, the little message you want to give to the receiver on the back. Add a nice tag or ribbon. It's just, they're really fun. And they are hashtag rip strips. So let's put those on our ring. I gotta get these ones on that ring too. I haven't made stamp ones for a while, and I really wanted more of them so that I could, sorry, I'm looking for my stamp ring, so that I could sit and color them, because I'm almost done with my Oracle cards. And I'm gonna need another slow project like that I can use next to my chair, you know, when I'm feeling fiddly, or we're watching a movie and I can't sit still, or something that I'm not as interested in as I should be. Do you do that? And then he's like, aren't you watching this? Yeah, I'm watching it. Sorry. All right, I wish I would have brought that black ink up. Let's try this blue right here and use this one. Has a nice straight line. I'll just throw that on there like that. This is one of my favorites. Embossing powder is a great option too, because you sit and emboss them all up ahead of time, and then you can either color it or spray it or use your brushes and water-soluble inks, or your magicals or perfect pearls, whatever. But if you're sitting at the recliner, you'll want to use like watercolor pencils or pens, or, you know, stuff like that. Should be using a stamp pad, really. I do have that. Ooh, look at that. Isn't that nice? It really is. And it's got that good, grungy, sort of old look to it. I love it. It's a good stamp. They all are. I'm trying to remember the price of these. So low. It is so low. It's actually in the notes on my phone, and I don't have it handy. But I want to say they were less than $10. And if you get a 10% off, even less. I'm trying to remember the price. I did know that, but I've slept since then. Look at that. Isn't that nice? I hope you can see it and I'm not out of shot. Let me check my camera. I'm bad about that. Well, I hope everything was in shot, actually. I'll try to stay up here. I think that's going to be one of my favorites right there. And that is a Lindy's spray right there, because I can see the sparkles in it. In another video, I need to show you how to make those, because it is so easy. How to make the sparkly sepia tone sprays. Look at that. That's nice. So, of course, these can all be colored, different colors, and, you know, you can spray them ahead of time. Use the papers in your splat box. If you plan ahead, you can even, that one has embossing powder on it already. Let's play with that. If you plan ahead, you can actually, let's use this one. put some cardstock scraps in your splat box, because I always keep a selection of like book pages and cardstock and paper bags and, you know, things like that in there, like brown paper bags. But if you have those in there ahead of time, then you end up with some really fun. This is a different one that I did a long time ago. So when you ink it, after you emboss it, then you just go through and wipe it like that. I think this was a wooden hand-carved stamp on here, honestly. It's not one of those. I think it is one of those ones from India that are hand-carved for fabric. And it was just me cleaning it off. So I'm going to put that on there. It's good enough. Because, you know, never know what I'm going to add to it. These are really great to have, you know, just hanging by your desk too. So let's use that one again with our, let's use that blue again. We like it. So I'm live the first and third Saturday of each month if you're new here. And we have such a great group of ladies that come in and hang out and do projects with us. And we also do a collaboration once a month with PM Artist Studio. And it's just so fun because there's a variety of different kinds of projects from different channels. And we get such a great group of people every month. So it's like an art show too, because they're all less than, you know, like 12 minutes or less. And oh, look at that. Do you see it? It's so fun. And I can color it or not color it. That looks good enough that it doesn't even need colored. But if I feel like I need to take a moment and clear my mind, it's a great way to do that. Great way to use scraps. And I've always kept a bucket that I throw the strips in, so they're always handy for me, like this. Let's use this one now. And actually, we can use the back, so that if this is, excuse me, if it becomes a dangle or something, then the back is treated and taken care of. These are colors I don't use very often with the pink. I was probably trying them out when I got them, because they came in a set or something. Let's use this one again, because I don't think we got a really noticeable impression from that. I know I'm mixing my inks. I don't really care. It's okay. So I'm just going to do this for a little while. Have these all handy and ready to go. Oh, look at that. Isn't that great? And this is just, you know, cardboard packaging. And then, of course, let's go outside the box here a little. You can then take your scissors after you color them and cut them out and use them wherever. Like you could make 4 of these and turn it into, I'm smudging my ink, it's not quite dry. Turn it into corners on the cover of a journal, in your art journal. Look at that. Isn't that nice? After I color it or spray it or, you know, give it a little bit of this and that, it's going to be beautiful and impactful, I think. You could probably do 4 of them, put them together. Anyway, I just love these stamps, and they've been on my list for a little while. I hope that you enjoyed this and you make some rip strips too, just like this, in different ways. And don't forget to get your stamps out. Maybe these stamps, if you get these gorgeous stamps. And have yourself some fun and some little zen moments, because this is a very enjoyable thing to do and a way to have things made up ahead of time. You all have a magical day, and thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate you. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you leave a comment, I will respond, and it always warms my heart. Have a great day. Bye, guys.